Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Welcome to Kris.
Good morning, and Kris.
In the morning.
Right? Ooh, what are we drinking today? What is this called? A cup of what?
Cup of Joe?
Cup of Joe?
No, it's not.
It's a cup of possibility.
I
get one every episode, so exactly. Let's just jump into market stats. Okay. Last episode, we talked about, we're going to cover the whole month of May, so you get an idea of how the month has been trending.
Break it down for us, Kris.
All right. Number of homes on the market. We started at 2114, ended at 2288. Every week it has gone up. And we are 8.25% up above where we started, which really pushes us back to almost April territory.
It does, yeah. This time last month, 2013 homes on the market. So
yeah, it has been a steady climb, right? Median house price, it did jump and fluctuate a little bit in the middle of the month, but bounced right back up. We're 4% increase above where we were at the start of the month. Started at 380, we ended at 395.
Holding steady. I mean, a month ago this week it was 385. So that was we already had that in week 2. So it's pretty consistent.
Pretty consistent.
Also consistent days on the market.
Yep, 6 days on average. So
still crazy.
Still fast. And number of homes sold. So we started the month 651. We ended at 855 sold. It's a 31.3% increase. But where were we last month? What did we end at?
865 homes.
Yeah, so we have peaked ourselves back up. We took a dip. Really at the start of the month, took our biggest dip. And then it's been a steady climb. So what do you think? What some of those factors?
By next month, I think we're going to take this back a couple months. And we're just going to keep coming up with these figures just to see if the trend is what I consider it to be a steady increase, and I think that has been happening for longer than the...
And it is moving season. A lot of families, we're now facing the prospect of kids going back to school, right? After a year of pandemic and homeschool and kids sitting on their computers going to school. I think a lot of parents, including some folks on our team members, are like, whoosh, okay, good, get you back to school. But that also gives parents time to think like, hey, maybe we might shift districts, move things around. We get a huge influx of Californians coming in still, and they're still discovering the areas that they want to move. So,
and it's still a big part of it is how much is my home worth? Because that's huge right now. If you can afford to upsize and not spend too much more because your home is worth so much, then that's well worth it.
Heck yeah.
Well worth considering.
All right, so that's it for the market stats. Like we said, probably at the end of June, we'll take a 2-month look back and then see how this trend has been going up into summer.
Just keep watching it go up, is what I think.
Absolutely. Well, so we don't have a crystal ball, but we can always hope. Let's move on to our next segment, getting ready to sell. Last week, we talked about the condition of your home and ways to take care of that.
And if you missed it, please just go ahead and click.
Yeah, that was episode 5, and we're on episode 6.
I'm pretty sure this is episode 7. I'm not positive.
I mean, it could be 7. Who knows? Anyways.
Let's talk about the accessibility of someone's house.
Yes, absolutely. So think about it on a factor, just like we did last week, on a scale of
1 to 10.
1 to 10.
No. 1 to 0.
1 to 0 like I did last week. But 1 being absolutely no showings whatsoever, and 10 being a fully vacant home that has access the entire day, the entire week, the entire month.
Our keyword last week was neutral. You want to keep like a model home neutral space. You want to be able to have it be as readily available as possible. The quicker you can be ready to show your home when an agent calls and says, hey, I'd like to show, the better.
And you had an amazing line for that,
which is offers.
ICE equals offers.
It does.
Right?
It does. Because, for instance, I was showing a client a group of homes, and one of them needed 48 hours notice, and we were going to be going out the next day to look at homes. That's just too much. That's too big of an ask, and I feel like they were not getting very many eyes on that home, and that is probably going to hurt them in the long run because they ended up purchasing a different home. So
it's understandable. A lot of us still do work from home. We have a home office.
Of course.
And an hour is about the right amount of time. Hey, can we give you an hour to prep, pick up, get out? We can come into the home. There's multiple ways to set up access to your home. One would be a mechanical lockbox. It's the old school with a combination. Still great. Most agents will leave a card when they visit your house. Electronic lockbox, which is a great way because it tracks the time, date, and who came into your home.
Safety, it's accountability, it's great. The electric lockbox will tell you exactly who the last person was in your home and every person who's visited.
For example, maybe the other agent walked out with a key, completely forgot to put it back in the lockbox. As your agent, I'd be able to see, oh, hey, that last person, give them a call. Please return the key, and that way we're back on board with showings.
And they'll just apologetically say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I forgot. it's a good thing that we have them to be accountable for, because agents show tons of homes in a day, and it is easy to lose track of stuff if you're at the end of your rope. So
absolutely. And don't forget that pictures don't always tell the same story. So you might be able to see a home, it looks amazing online, but when you actually see it in person, it may not actually match your needs. So you want to check out the neighborhood.
You do want to check out the neighborhood.
Maybe you're someone who you work graveyard shifts, so your mornings need to be quiet. Next door neighbor has 7 kids and they're out jumping early in the morning.
Yeah, there's more factors than just what does it look like when it comes to buying homes.
Yeah.
This accounts for sellers as well, I feel, because if you're putting misleading pictures up on a listing, and you're not trying to be misleading, you're just trying to make your house look as good as possible, but someone could buy that sight unseen, put in an offer, go into escrow. It could fall out of escrow because they finally see the house in person and they're disappointed with what they've seen. So it's very important to be honest when you post pictures. It's very important to look at the places that you want to buy before you buy them.
What we don't want is a surprise. Quite often, the buyer will accompany the inspector, so they can take one more walkthrough through the house as the inspector is doing their job. If you bought it sight unseen, you may be surprised by, it could be anything, the condition of the home,
Surprises
the
are
foundation.
great, but not when it comes to purchasing.
Yeah, exactly. And since that's a point in time when they still have the ability to pull out of the transaction, we want to make sure, let's cut out all those surprises.
Avoid as best as possible.
Absolutely. All right. So moving on, you had a very unique Vegas experience
I had an
recently.
unexpected Vegas event. It was quite fun. I think it was called Rail Explorers. I'm going to just make sure I'm getting all this right. Rail Explorers. They have tours running from, I think, starting 10 a.m. all the way throughout the day. I did a 9 p.m. tour, which was a fireside. It was very cute. Okay. We ended up using campfires. People had brought marshmallows and graham crackers, and they made s'mores. It was awful cute.
So tell me a little more about the experience. What do you actually do when you get there?
Pedal-powered carts. So nothing electric. You're pedaling down an old stretch of railway track.
Leg day.
Exactly. Butt day. My butt felt great.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
It was $90 for 2 people. We did a tandem. You can do the 4 persons or the 2 persons. They also you can do large groups. They do a lot of discounts for large groups. The Union Pacific Railroad constructed the line in 1930 to build the Boulder Dam, which is now
so they were probably hauling either supplies in and out, that sort of thing, and now they've got this track that why not make the most of it?
Why not make the most of it? So it's a fun little activity for any age, really. They have locations in Cooperstown, Las Vegas, Rhode Island, and the Catskills. This one opened in 2019. They had 1 year of great running, and then 2020, obviously, COVID ruined some stuff, but now they're fully operational, and they are super fun.
Hey, and it is June 1st, if you're watching this video today. If not, guess what? When we recorded it, it was June 1st, and guess what? A lot of the pre-pandemic constraints are now lifted. So this would be a perfect opportunity, right?
Yes, and even, it's an outdoor activity, so even if you're kind of mask conscious, it's still fresh air. You're out there.
Fresh air sounds like
looking
campfire,
at the mountains, the
evening sky. Yep. Oh my God.
They're doing a super soaker tour.
Woo.
You want to do one of super soaker?
Yeah, right.
Put on
the heat of summer.
Some sunscreen and water. Oh, I love it.
Call it a day.
Let's do it.
All right. Awesome. Well, hopefully more unexpected Vegas segments coming up in our future. Next week, we have some very fun stuff. It is summer, and you mentioned Super Soaker, so we're going to try and find you some amazing possibilities under $400,000 with pools.
Pretty pools. Let's find the prettiest pools we can find.
It's summer, so let's bring out the pools.
Who doesn't need a pool? It's summertime.
Or your friend who needs a pool.
And then do you want to end at my house and we can just get in the pool?
All right. So summer fun coming up next week. We'll have a little video rundown, some great pictures. Don't forget to follow us on the social media as well. And we will look forward to seeing you all next week. That's Kris.
And Kris. In the morning.
Wherever you are.